The sun shines brightly in the brilliant azure sky, warming the sea of shifting sands. A village known as Alat, a small hub for caravans, traders, and adventuring parties to barter and resupply. This was a tiefling village. Their main export was the fine arts. These artisans mastered the entire spectrum of art. From peerless jewelry, decorative armor pieces, beautiful oil paintings, and even incredibly intricate enchanted items. The village's population was indeed small, and everyone knew each other, treated each other like family. They possessed deep bonds within their community. If there was ever a tiefling who sought refuge from the world that harbored unbridled prejudice against them, the village would warmly welcome them in and teach them a trade. The village was decadently enriched in culture and traditions that adorned its people in gold and jewelry. Each milestone in a young tiefling's life was marked by being gifted with a new piece of jewelry, each with its own significance. Noor was born to a couple of expert jewelry makers who were the uncontested masters of their craft. Much of their designs were suited to become enchanted. They made every piece that Noor wears. Her mother Pocky and her father Venu, Zalmanad. Noor loved to sit in Pocky's lap as she made the delicate necklaces, bracelets, rings, and chains. She remembers that her mother's hands were always covered in a purple type of henna art that their neighbor did for her. The intricate, dark purple patterns on her mother's hands and arms always calmed Noor as she traced them at night. She remembers the tinkling of all the jewelry that adorned her mother's horns and body, all of the jewelry that she earned over the years. Noor and her papa loved to have fun. He would play with her, cook with her, joke around with her. But when it came to his work, he would not allow Noor anywhere near his workshop. He was a very well-liked tiefling in the village. His horns were large and adorned with so many chains and rings that Noor thought he looked like a king. He would always joke and say that made Noor his little princess. But she scrunched up her nose, not wanting to be a princess. She'd seen enough snooty princesses come into her village with their fathers and demand things from each of the booths in the bazaar. She wanted to be a procurer of materials to be used in her parents' business. She always had a knack for finding shiny things and acquiring them. During the day, Noor was a rascal. She would run around with the other tiefling children playing games, her friends coaching her in new and exciting ways of getting into trouble with the sweet shop owner for taste testing the warm sweets on the counter, or finding little trinkets and toys that were shiny, like Mama and Papa's art, that would make its way into her pockets. The years passed by, and when Noor was 17, a blonde-haired elf arrived with a large entourage. This group was dangerous, and many tieflings avoided them when they could. He chose to come to the Zalmanad's shop and asked, no, demanded, a specific piece for himself.
I require an exquisite piece, a bracer, and it must be a masterwork.
The elf demanded. Venu responded,
Well, your instincts are sharp, as you have come to the right place. May I ask what the piece is for? It will help with the design process. You may not. This is the design that I want, and anything less than perfection will be unacceptable.
He would not say what it was for, but it had to be exact. Fortunately, Venu was the most gifted craftsman in the world. However, when it was completed, the elf stared down his nose, feigning a disdainful inspection.
This does not meet the specifications that I humbly requested. To which I recall telling you that would be unacceptable.
He handed the piece to his servant to be stored with the rest of the elf's valuables.
As such, the retention of your very lives will more than suffice as compensation. And I expect immense gratitude for the honor.
This fired up Noor. She would not have anyone treat her family this way. So she used what her friends taught her and managed to steal something from the elf's bag. It was large and shiny, a crystal. These men weren't dangerous. They were easy and pitiful targets. However, the night after she stole it, Noor couldn't sleep, worried that it might have consequences. And it did. A week after the elf left, he returned, tearing cloth awnings from booths, colorful banners from their posts, searching each shop.
Where is it? Which one of you filthy devils stole from me?
He had his troop gather all of the tieflings in the middle of the village square, shoving and threatening the young and the old alike. He explained that if the tiefling responsible would come forward with his crystal, then he would let the entire village live. And everyone knew he was lying. His disdain for tieflings was apparent. So Noor remained quiet, hoping that she would save more people by not revealing herself. Without warning, he started to cut down her people. It was horrible. The whole village flew into a panic. Those that knew magic threw out spells. Those that knew how to fight used their skills. Noor's parents grabbed her and pushed her onto a horse, telling her to run. She thought they also had horses, and that they were right behind her. But she was wrong. When she realized, she was far away and could not go back. Over the next 10 years, Noor honed her thieving skills, learned thieves' cant, and how to use knives from whoever she came across, all the while blaming herself for what happened to her village. She built up walls, open to no one. No one else mattered, really. Only herself. If she stole from someone, she did not care who, except for children. She could not bring herself to take from the innocent, so she let them be. Over the years, she grew selfish and greedy, anything to try to block the pain that she felt. And she could tune out the pain if she just had enough shinies. That would help. She only needed more.